Hey, welcome to Sports and Politics with T. I'm your host, Tanya, and I just wanted to say happy Monday to everyone. Guess what, guys? We are at the last week of the month already. Only 4 more days, and it's March. Can y'all believe this? But anyway, I hope everyone's had a great weekend. I hope everyone had a great week last week. I was a little under the weather on Wednesday and Thursday, and so I definitely apologize I wasn't able to do the show on Thursday. But I am back, and do we have a lot to talk about tonight? A lot to catch up on, a lot of stuff to discuss, and, to get some more feedback on what people are feeling as far as all the changes that have been made, all the executive orders that the Trump administration has been going on all this year. Because I'm telling you guys, there's a lot of people that are feeling it now. And I think people don't realize that this is definitely serious business, okay? People are losing their jobs. Inflation numbers are going higher. Price of groceries are getting higher. One of the things that the Trump administration promised, and if you can look back at some of the tapes, in fact, we may play it tonight, they said that they were going to tackle inflation, and that was the first thing on day one that they were going to be looking at. But guess what, guys? We haven't seen any of that yet. Okay, and in fact, a lot of the prices have gotten even higher. So this is just not good. Anyway, but tonight we're going to recap on some things that have transpired. We did talk about the DEI initiatives and, the cutbacks and, things that they're trying to do away with. Of course, DEI was blamed for some of the airline crashes that were at the Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. And since then, guys, we've had about 3 more incidences. I think there was one in Arizona and another one in Kentucky. These... you don't want to point the finger at anything until we get the scope of what's going on. But it seemed like it's more and more. And I don't know why all of a sudden now all these planes are having problems. Some having problems with landing issues. I think one ran into something on the runway. Like, it's just a whole lot of stuff, But hopefully they can investigate and see what's going on with that, because now people are getting a little bit hesitant in flying, you know what I'm saying? So we'll just have to keep looking out for that. But anyway, the first topic of tonight is we're going to look at, this was about a little over a week ago, the Democrats were trying to get into the Department of Education. And guess what? They were locked out, guys. Now, these are people that are in the government, that have access to go in, but we have security blocking the door, saying that they can't get in. Just listen to this. We have Maxine Waters, who's one of the head speakers down at this particular location. Just look at the interaction and all the people that are trying to get in to try to, help save this department. Just watch this, and we'll chime in after this is finished.
Secretary. This man had to block these rabid Democrats from getting into the Department of Education offices, and what's so incredible about this video is that his face reflects that of every common-sense person in America. Watch the annoyed torment of this man.
And block members of Congress doing my job.
So everybody's... What is that?
We're doing our job. Who told you to do this? Open the door.
We're not dangerous people. We're not, I don't know, security. There are no thieves and thugs out here. We're members of Congress.
They're members.
Now, take it, they are members of Congress. Now, this is Fox News, so they're going to be leaning more on the right side. But just watch the interaction with this.
Of Congress. That's even worse, lady.
Do you understand who members of Congress are?
Well, and you don't care.
Who are we then?
The kids deserve to have us go in and fight for them.
This is appalling.
Children of this country deserve that battle.
This is a public institution.
Go ahead, get it all in. Make sure you're right in the middle so the camera can see you. Now's when it gets good. The wacky Maxine Waters hour kicks in. Watch this old lady make an absolute fool of herself. Here we go. Take it away, Maxine.
Are you a federal employee? Huh?
Yes.
No, he said he's a federal employee. We pay him. We raise money to make sure that we have a Department of Education. Everybody that's hired at the Department of Education are here because we pay for them to be here. He's standing here today blocking the door, and he can't give us a good reason why he's blocking this door.
Make sure they see right here. All access entrance.
They're calling all of these gun loading people out on us. They're calling them out on us. Look behind this door. Who do you see back there?
The doors will open.
Do they have guns on them?
Yes.
Do
We
they
don't
have
have any
guns?
weapons.
Did you know that they're responsible for all of the student loans in this country?
I hear that they want to cut those student loans
That's
and
right.
give them as tax cuts to their billionaire friends.
And are they aware of Title I, where mothers are getting up, going to work for minimum wages, and they cannot enjoy the education in this country? And this man is blocking the door. He says he's a federal employee. He won't tell us who gave him permission to do this.
Does this remind you of the other people who have blocked the schoolhouse doors before?
Yes.
Right? This is a flashback.
This.
Let me stop right there. One thing I like about Maxine Waters, she is not afraid of nobody, okay? She's going to try to dig and get to the bottom of this. Because, see, this is the thing. You know, they're trying to do away with Department of Education. And so, what they're trying to do is they're trying to give everything to the states now. And so, my thing is, this guy, you can see his face. He acts like he don't have a care in the world. He could care less who this affects. He don't care about the kids. He don't care about anything but just doing his job, you know. So, but it's crazy. I mean, these are people that work for the government, and it says all access entrance. You see it right on the door. So it's not like this is a private thing. It says all access. So what is the issue? What is the problem? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's keep going.
This is going to go out in history. The man who blocked the doors of the Department of... Hold your face up so they can see you. Get a good copy of him. Let him get recorded in history for what he's doing today. Let his children see him. Let his children know that he was standing in the way of all children being educated. Look them in the eye. Come on, hold your face up. Look at him. Let him see you. This is him. Look at him. What's your name? Tell us your name. Give me that ID again. So what?
I showed you the ID.
You do what?
I showed you the
Could
ID.
you let me see the ID again? Huh?
No.
No? Well, someone else ask him for the ID.
I'm sorry, I had to get a good laugh. Every time I see Maxine Waters, I love her spirit. I do. I always have admired her spirit. She's like, what's your name? Who are you? You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no badge. He ain't got no identification. He ain't got nothing on him. How do we know he's a federal employee? You know what I'm saying? So, but good up for Maxine. I'm so glad that they stood their ground. They didn't just go away, you know. So, because this is the thing, guys. Like I said, them doing away with this is they don't care who it affects, you know. And people with children, I hate to say it, but you will see it eventually. You know, the states already are not getting enough funding. They're not even getting enough funding for regular public schools. So you think they're going to get a lot of funding? Anyway, let's just keep moving on, guys. Let's just keep moving on. I just wanted to show you why people are they're trying to fight. They are fighting. They're trying to, you know, keep these departments open. I mean, not only that, you got people losing their jobs on that. The programs, a lot of funding from colleges and things like that. Like, I know there's a lot of, especially historically black colleges, they're not getting funding for USDA department stuff. You know, it's crazy. I mean, farmers are not getting their money. They could lose their farms, you know. like I said, trim the fat. I get that. But when you're going in and just tearing up departments and you don't have anything to put in place of it, that's where the issue is. It's almost like, why not focus on the waste? Why not focus on where the excess is and eliminate that? Not eliminate the entire department, because the entire department is not wasteful. It's probably certain sections of the department that, might be wasteful. So, and like I told you the other week, we want to see proof of all these findings that they keep saying. They found 30 million over here, and they found another 40 million over here, and they found 10 million in this department and 100 million going over here. Where is the proof? Again, we'd like to see it. The Republicans are cheering. They're like, yeah, he's cheering, but they're not asking questions. Where's the proof, though? We have to get out of that mindset of, let's just believe everything they tell us, Republican or Democrat, right? All I'm saying is, can we at least see the reports? Can we see the audit? Can we see, because anybody can get on camera and say, we had to cut spending and we had to cut waste. That's one of the reasons why on last Monday I showed you Obama did this 14 years ago, okay? And he had a great economy when he handed it over to Trump. So if he had a great economy and Trump had that advantage, then how did it just go downhill so quickly? How did the spending go even higher? Part of it was COVID, because they did do a lot of stimulus checks and they were printing money left and right and inflation went through the roof. So we get that. But if you really think about it, the American people didn't really get a lot of stimulus. They didn't. I think they got 2 checks, one for $1,200. I think the other one was like $400 or $600 or something like that. It wasn't a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is, guys. But we're gonna keep an eye out on Department of Education and the USDA. Those 2 departments are gonna be huge, okay, if they get rid of those. So anyway, next thing on the list is Black history. Okay, so Trump decided he was gonna honor some Black history people. I think he honored Frederick Douglass, and I think Tiger Woods was there at the White House, and that's good and all. And everybody has to save face somehow. I hate to say that, because how do you honor Black history but then turn around and get rid of diversity, equity, inclusion? Like, it's kind of like contradictory. On one hand, we salute, I think he saluted Kobe Bryant and some, superstar athletes, which, hey, we want people to be recognized. You know what I'm saying? Frederick Douglass and some more people. But after you leave the event, then you're going to go in and start slashing things for minority people and people of the United States that need it the most. So it's like, you don't know what to really believe at this point. I want you to take a look at this comment from Jemele Hill. She used to be on ESPN. And listen to her outtake on what she feels about how Trump delivered on Black history.
Time that there were going to be statues of Kobe Bryant and Muhammad Ali. So it just seems a little hypocritical that you would be doing everything in your power to sort of outlaw the teachings of what, say, a Muhammad Ali stood for. Like, are you going to tell people that he stood against war, that he stood against these very progressive civil rights issues? That doesn't seem to be the part of it. And what I noticed there from that clip is that he had to read letter by letter about what these people, what these great Americans have done in terms of progress for our country, because it's not something he's familiar with and not something that is natural for him. So I consider this to be an insult, a slap in the face. And frankly, all the people that attended this, look, I guess God bless you if you've never been to the White House and maybe you looked at it as some kind of great experience. But everything this president has stood for and done in the last decade or so has been a complete rejection of what Black history is.
Abel, how do you square what Jamel is saying there, that this White House, this administration has spent so much time, especially in the last month, denigrating diversity as even a concept. And actually, let me just go ahead and play this because I think it's instructive to hear exactly what they have been saying. Listen.
I think the single dumbest phrase in military history is our diversity is our strength.
My son is in a public school. He takes a class called African American History. If you're running an African American history class, could you perhaps be in violation of this court order, of this executive order?
I'm not quite certain, and I'd like to look into it further and get back to you on that.
You can have DEI in water coolers and universities. I disagree with that. But lives aren't impacted with DEI at universities. It is impacted here. I just want the best and the brightest, keeping Americans safe.
Okay, so you say that, and then you throw a Black History Month event, and people are supposed to then say, well, it all doesn't matter. He really does care about the history of this country, which includes people. It's Black History Month today and this month, but it could be Hispanic History Month, Women's History Month, all these diverse people.
Absolutely.
What are Americans supposed to think?
I mean, look, President Trump is not a traditional politician. I mean, he never has been, he never will be. So today when we saw the celebration in the White House, I thought that was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was a packed house there. I mean, Tiger Woods, I can go on and on of all the people that were there. He made it very clear today, Abby. He said, Black Americans are legends. I'm going to put some statues up. Kobe Bryant.
But he's governing in exactly the opposite way.
I think what he's trying to do is on one end, he knows he's got a huge deficit. He's trying to make cuts and move the business, this big government forward.
I'm not talking about the cuts. I'm talking about the denigration of people based on this idea of DEI. They tried to blame a plane crash on diversity.
Yeah, I don't actually agree with that, to be very sincere with you. I think he looks at DEI more of a, let's put that aside and let's do everything on merit. He's made it very clear. He's talked about merit all along. So I really think, Abby, that what happened today was a beautiful thing.
So yeah, I don't. I think he's trying to gaslight us. I mean, come on, man. You have got to be kidding.
So if he didn't have it today, he would be back.
He's trying to gaslight us. He said he doesn't want anybody in government to celebrate Black History Month, and then he says, okay, I'm going to put on an event about Black History Month, and I'm going to be the speaker. There aren't any Black people, really saying anything about what's happening with him. He tried to use DEI as literally a racial slur against us, as if Black people are benefiting from anything in this country and getting anything we're not qualified for and don't have to work twice as hard for. Black people have to live in the real world. When the cops come, we're scared because we might not come out of it alive. We walk into a store, if they let us in, we're followed around. We don't get loans when we have the same credit score as everybody else because we're Black. We have to live in the real world. You can't gaslight us. We know reality when we see it. This is not real. This is a joke. That's what that is.
I mean, personally, Tiger Woods was speaking at the podium today.
Tiger Woods said he's the Blasian.
Right. I thought he would be there for the compilation.
Come on, man.
History Month.
One of the things also, apparently the Defense Department's getting ready to make some cuts. We talked about it earlier. One of the cuts rumored to be happening is of CQ Brown, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, shockingly, a Black man. This is not surprising to me because I know the conversation in MAGA world about that. But the idea that maybe one of the first acts of the new defense secretary would be to ask the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, who is a Black man who a Republican senator just today said has done a very good job, and he would be surprised to hear if he were eliminated in some of these cuts. Kevin Kramer said a month ago that he knows CQ Brown pretty well. They've had disagreements, but he thinks he's doing a great job. Why would this even be a conversation?
Well, I think Texas has sort of changed his tune on it a bit. They seem to be working together in the early onset. Right after his confirmation, he gave him a vote of approval out loud to the press corps. So we'll see what happens. I'm not going to jump to a conclusion on that. And also, I hope that even if we have political disagreements with somebody in history, a figure of history, we can still recognize their greatness. And I think that's very important. So I was glad to see Donald Trump highlight, yes, great athletes, but yes, Rosa Parks, yes, Frederick Douglass. I think that's great. We can have the debate over DEI, and I think I can go in a million different directions. I think when it comes to the celebration of Black history, I think the president's signal today was he doesn't want to see it erased from our conversation in our country.
But that's not what his actions say.
History.
Yeah, so that's the end of that segment. But, everybody has mixed emotions about it. And like I said, if his policies were in line with the message of Black history, then I could say, okay, all right. But, that's just a tough pill to swallow. I'm not saying that he wasn't trying, but I'm just saying, on one end, you're celebrating, but on the other end, you're getting rid of things that's hurting Black people. It's just... Anyway, guys. Next, we're going to go on to bigger and better things. Because, listen, MAGA is still crying, guys. They are hurting. And I'm like, oh my God, Republicans? These are supposed to be diehard MAGA. These are people that said, you know what, we're going to go with Trump all the way. We put our vote in, and that's our guy. He even called himself king, or was it God or something last week? I think he called himself king or something. But anyway, the narcissist, that's what everybody likes in this guy for some reason. But I want y'all to take a look at MAGA. They are still belly aching right now. They're feeling it. They are feeling it. Again, this is not Democrats. This is not even independents. This is the Republican Party speaking out how they feel about their vote. And they are regretting it big time.
Trump, why would they cut off their nose to spite their face? Hello, they are white women.
I'm trying to tell y'all that these little Trumpettes are starting to regret their decisions. The shift is happening. Go watch my previous post right before this one. You'll see it. The other day, Leaving MAGA was trending on Threads. People were sending each other links to go to this website called Leaving MAGA so they could leave the cult.
My aunt voted for Donald Trump. My aunt is on Medicaid. My aunt is a cancer survivor. She's going to lose her Medicaid. This is exactly what she voted for. Did people think that they were personally exempt from his abhorrent policies? Like, he could take away Medicaid from someone, but not from you? Hello? Make it make sense.
So hold on, let me get this straight. You are now regretting your vote. Now, you voted for him all this time, and you still didn't learn?
Yeah, we voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. We live in the Florida Panhandle, and we thought that this would be good for our business, but we're finding out now that we were wrong, and I want to publicly say that we are regretting our votes at this point.
President Trump did not betray you. You betrayed yourself. You lied to yourself to justify your decision to vote for a madman. And you didn't care about the things he said he would do. You figured that would only hurt other people. But now that it's hurting you, you see the problem with it.
Well. Look who's backtracking like a bad Tinder date. MAGA white women are finally realizing they fumbled the bag again. This FAFO season is shaping up to be one for the history books. They thought they were voting for family values and economic security, but instead they got skyrocketing prices, fewer rights, and a front row seat to the downfall of democracy. Now folks, this is the part where we say, we told you so. You F around, now you're finding out. Well, grab your popcorns because we are about to break it down how MAGA women are in tears after regretting their vote for the Orange Man. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let me know your opinion in the comment section below. I'll be back with more commentary.
If you voted for that man, you're either a fool, you are cruel, or you're a woman who doesn't love herself. Let's play it back. You're either dumb as a fucking rock, you're a piece of fucking shit, or you're a woman who has no goddamn self-respect. Take your pick. Those are
So a lot of people are shocked, confused as to why a majority of white women would vote for Trump. Why would they cut off their nose to spite their face? Hello, they are white women. That's like that.
Okay, so that's just a repeat. But anyway, you see, people are they're showing you. They're showing you like, I don't even know what we were thinking. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. Anyway.
and that the government will tell you which gender you are. You would be foolish to think that we are not next. I mean, we are already impacted by the DEI freeze in the federal government. There was a big story yesterday about a Trumper who was pleading for Trump to understand the unintended consequences because his freeze on DEI hiring was costing his wife her job at the VA. You know, classic fuck around and find out. Like, oh, the Cheeto, he didn't mean us. That must have been an accident. He wasn't ever coming for us. This is what I've seen from so many women. Like, he's not coming for our basic rights. Y'all are being alarmist. You would be foolish to think that Project 2025, the men who wrote it, the ideology that is driving the current administration, is not gunning for women's basic rights. And I'm not talking about reproductive health care, because we all know how that's gone. And you can say like, oh, I'm pro-life, so I'm in favor of, you know, current proposed legislation where women could face the death penalty for seeking reproductive health care for any reason. Okay, fine. Let's say that you're fine with that. You're okay with that. That fits with your beliefs and worldview. You know what they're coming for next. Basic rights and privileges that we take for granted that did not exist for our mothers and grandmothers. I'm 45, right? So in just my mother's generation, women could not have credit cards in their names. Our memory is so short, we forget it was not long ago that women couldn't hold property, couldn't have bank accounts, were functionally property of their husbands. Marital discipline, aka hitting your wife, was legal. And it was barely 100 years ago that we got the right to vote, that white women got the right to vote. Our foremothers fought, were imprisoned, were bloodied and bruised, died for us to get our right to vote. And now there is open talk of rescinding that right. We already saw in the last election that men want to control their wives' votes, want to stand behind them in the voting booth, want to fill out their ballot for them at home. The next step that has been proposed, and again, used to be a very fringe conversation and is now being openly discussed, is basically what equates to the conservative Christian perspective of federal headship.
And see, this is the thing, you know, they're little by little, they're going after everybody's rights. I mean, eventually you probably won't even be able to go to the doctor after a certain point. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It is literally crazy. People are just, they're seeing it now. I'm telling you guys, they are seeing it. So we just got to hang in there. That's all we can do. Okay, guys? Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about tonight was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris got honored at the NAACP Awards. And she did a great speech. You know, it was so good to see her after the election, and, you know, just to see how she's doing and what she's feeling. But listen to these words. She did a great speech about just unity and what we need to do for America.
How you doing?
That was just a beautiful speech by Kamala. I'm so proud of her. You know, she was honored. And you know what? I like what she said right at the end. That it's not going to be, history is not going to be written by who's in the Oval Office or the richest, wealthiest people. You know, she was throwing little jabs right there. So, but I like the fact that she's always classy. You know, she still maintains that decorum about herself, even though she knows it's not an easy fight. But she said the fight is worth it, though. And that's the key. Especially as minorities, we have always fought, you know, in everything we've had in life, everything that we've tried to accomplish, it took a fight. And guess what? We're going to continue to fight. This is not over by no means. In fact, this is just beginning. Okay? So anyway, guys, that has been a great show tonight. I just wanted to kind of tap in tonight and, you know, say, you know, I'm still here, still here. And I will be back on Thursday to cover even some more things going on with, you know, the politics side. And also we're going to tap into the sports side as well. Okay, I'm getting a lot of comments about some of the sports things that is going on. And so we are going to, tackle those issues as well in the sports arena. Okay, so if you enjoyed this content tonight, please hit like, share, and subscribe, and also hit the notification bell to be notified of all the videos that will be coming up live. And even if it's pre-recorded, you'll still get that notification as well. That way you won't miss any episodes. Okay. All right. Well, guys, y'all have a great rest of the week, and I will see y'all on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Again, have a great week and good night. Bye-bye.